Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Test Code Automate. So this is my 32nd video for the Playwright with TypeScript series. In this video, I am going to talk about UI mode in Playwright. So let's start. So UI mode lets you explore, run and debug tests with the time travel experience with watch mode. And apart from this, it provides all the functionality of the trace viewer also. And about the trace viewer, I have already talked into my previous video. So if you have not watched that video, I would recommend you to watch that video. I will provide the link of the video into the description, or you can click onto this I button at top right corner to access the video. So here we can see full traces of the test and hover back and forward over each action to see what was happening during each step and pop out the DOM snapshot to separate window for better debugging experience. Now let me go back little bit into the Playwright functionalities. So previously, whenever we wanted to execute our test script, so for that we got this run button, right? This triangle icon. So once you click on it, you would be able to execute your test script, right? Or you can also go to this testing tab, and from here you can click onto the run button for the specific test or for the specific test script file or for the whole test suite. Or you can use the command to execute your test scripts. Okay. But here we were not able to see the browser. So for that, we got this show browser option, right? Once you check it, you would be able to see all the execution into the browser, or with the command also you can provide headless equals to false. But here Playwright is so fast that we would not be able to figure out that what just went, right? What just got executed. So to overcome that, we got the debug mode where we can go to each step and check that what is going on. But here we were able to only move forward, right? If we are on to the line number 24, we cannot check the previous step there. So now to overcome this also, we got the trace viewer, right? So once the execution is done, we can go back and forward in the time to check that what happened with the execution, right? And it was very helpful for the debugging. So now with the UI mode, they have added the watch mode with the trace viewer functionality. Okay. So we can execute our test script. We can debug our test script. Also, we can see the traces of our test script with the UI mode. So now let's see one practical example that how we can see the UI mode. First, let me just tell you overview of the site which we are going to use for this particular video for the demo purpose. So I am going to use this saucedemo.com site, okay, where we are going to log in into the application. And once we are logged in into the application, I would be opening this item and then would be adding the item to the cart. And once item is added into the cart, we would be going to this particular cart, verifying this item is appearing here or not. And then we would be removing this item from the cart. So this is our first test. And into the second test, again, we are going to log in into the application. Then we are going to directly come onto this particular cart, okay, where we would be checking that cart is empty or not. And then we would be logging out of the application, right? So this is the flow which we are going to follow into our test script. So here is one test script which I have already created, right? So which is this UI mode practice1.spec.ts. And inside this script, I'm automating the same scenario which I have just talked, where into the before each, I'm logging in into the application, and then into the first test, I'm adding that item into the cart, then verifying that item is visible there or not. And then I'm removing the item from the cart. And once the item is removed from the cart, I'm logging out of the application from this after each. And again, for the second test, with the before each, we would be logging in, and then we would be going to the cart item, okay, and then we would be validating that particular cart is empty or not, and then we would be logging out of the application. And here I am also going to use the second script where inside the describe block, we have just given 3 tests where we are console logging the titles. So now let's see how we can open this UI mode. So to open the UI mode, we need to give one command. And what is that command? Here we need to give this npx playwright test, then after that --- UI, okay. And once you hit enter into your terminal, you would be able to see the UI mode. So let's give that command npx playwright test, then after space -UI. And now you need to hit enter. So see, now the UI mode is on, and here we are able to see all the test scripts which are there into this tests folder, right? So there are 4 test scripts which are there inside this tests folder. So all the test scripts we are able to see here into this left panel. And this is our UI mode, right? So here, let me tell you all the functionalities which we get with the UI mode. So here with the UI mode, we get this color mode option, okay, where you can switch the theme from the dark to light, okay, and light to dark if you will again click here, okay. So as per your convenience, you can use this particular option. Now coming on to this reload option. So let's say if you have made any changes into your test suite, you can click here. So it will reload all the files here into the left panel if they are not already loaded. Then there is this output option. Okay. Once we click here, so it will open this output panel. Here we would be able to see all the logs which we see here into the terminal, right? So once we execute our test scripts, we used to see so many logs here, right? Which we get from the Playwright, and also some of the custom logs which we generated, right? From this console.log. So that's what we are going to see here. Okay. Once I execute the script, I will show you that what kind of logs we would be able to see here, right? What is the output which we would be getting? If you click again here, this output will get closed. Now we have got this filter text box here, right? So here we can enter any text and it will filter these items on basis of that. So now let me filter this empty cart, right? So let me type empty only. And once you type it, you would be able to see only that particular text is appearing here, right? So apart from the text, you can also provide these tags here, okay? About tags, I have not talked till now. Into my upcoming videos, you would be seeing these tags also. So for now, you can understand it like this. For the smoke test or for the regression test, we can provide such tags, okay, with the title. So we would be able to execute our test scripts on basis of those tags also. So those tags we can provide here to filter them out. Now there is this arrow. If you click here, you would be able to see this passed, failed and skipped options are there. And if you check them out, you would be able to filter this panel on basis of that, right? If you just want to see the past test script, so you can select it. And once the execution is done, so you would be able to see all the past test scripts only. Same is for the failed and skipped also. Now we have this projects options which are appearing here. So for now, only Chromium and Firefox is appearing here. And why so? Because we have only configured Chromium and Firefox into our playwright.config.ts file. So see, here I have just configured Chromium and Firefox. So only those two browsers are appearing there under the projects. Here you can configure other browsers also, like if you will configure the WebKit, you would be able to see the same option there. So from these checkboxes, you can select the specific browser and only onto that browser, the execution will happen. So if you do not select any of these checkbox from the project section, it will by default select all the option, right? So see here, once I expand any of the test, you would be able to see all the projects here on which the execution is going to happen. So now let me just select the Chromium. So it will not show these browser name here, okay? Because now it is just going to execute it onto the Chromium. So accordingly, you can select the specific project. Now under this test section, we have this collapse all option. Okay, once you click on it, it will collapse all of your test script, right? And similarly with this arrow, we can expand our test script. Now we have this run option. So through this run button, we can run all of the test scripts which are there inside the tests folder. And while execution, if you want to stop the execution, you can click onto the stop. And this play option is available for each of the test script and also for each of the test, right? So whatever you want to execute, accordingly, you can click onto this run button. Let's say if you just want to execute this test only, so you can click here. If you want to execute the complete test script file, you can click here, okay? And if you just want to execute the complete suite itself, so you can click here onto this run button. So now let's run this script, which is UI mode practice1.spec.ts. So here for this first test, I have added this wrong text here, right? So for this particular locator, we are expecting this sauce lab backpack should be appearing as the text. But here I have added 1, 2, 3 also after backpack. So this will get failed. Okay. So now let's run this particular test script. So to run the whole test script, you need to click here, right? This is the test script name and this is the run button for that. Just click here. So see here, we would be able to see this running status for that particular test script file. And here we are also getting this loading icon. Okay, so see the execution got finished and we are able to see the status for each test, right? So for this first test, we are able to see the failed. And for the second test, we are able to see this pass test. And overall, our test script got failed. So now purposefully here we have failed it because we have given the wrong text to verify, right? So now let's go to our script and correct that thing. Okay. So now from the UI mode, we can directly go to our test script also. Okay. So here we have got this particular icon, which is open in VS Code. So from here, we can open a particular test script file. Okay. And if we click here for the particular test also, so it will open the test script file where your cursor will point out to the specific test. So let's click here for this adding and removing test, right? So once I click here into the VS Code, if you will go, so see, it is just pointing to the first test, right? At line number 18. So you will not have to search that particular test script file, okay? And that particular test into the VS Code, automatically it will point to that particular test. So here we are getting failure because of this particular text, okay? So now before correcting that, let me just show you one more option, which is watch mode. So here into the UI mode, if you will go, you would be able to see this eye icon. So you can select this eye icon for the whole tests. And if you want to do it for the specific test script file or for the test also, so you would be able to see this eye icon there. Okay. So for now, we just wanted to keep watch onto this particular test script file. Okay. So let me click here. Okay. So now it is going to keep watch on all the tests which are present here inside this particular test script file. Okay. So these two tests are now under watch. So now let's go to the VS Code and correct the failure. So let me click here. So automatically it will point out to this particular test. Okay. And here let's correct this one. So now as soon as I remove this 1, 2, 3 and go back to the UI mode. So see, automatically the execution is started for this particular test script file. So see, execution got passed for both the tests, right? So this is watch mode, right? So whenever we make any changes for the particular test or for the test script file and save that particular script, and as soon as we save, our execution will start for the specific test or for the test script file, right? For whatever the item you have added this watch. So for me, auto saving is enabled here into the VS Code, but for you, if it is not enabled, you will have to save the script manually by pressing Ctrl S, or you can go to this file and click onto this save. And if you want, you can remove all the watch option also. Let's say if you are making very frequent changes into your test script and you don't want to execute your test script for every change. So for that case, you can just remove all the watch option from here. So as per your requirement, you can use this watch option. And one more thing, let's say you are using this page object model into your framework. And in that case, if you add this watch mode on, okay, so how it is going to behave? Let me show it to you. So let's add this watch option for complete test suite. Okay. And here inside this test folder, I have created these two test script file where we are using the page object model. Okay. Here we are just logging in into the application. We are adding an item to the cart. Okay. And then we are checking that one count is appearing onto the cart or not. And then we are verifying that particular item is there into the cart or not, right? So this is the basic script. But here, let's say if I'm not making any change to this particular test, right? But here we are going to make change for the pages which we have used inside this particular test. Okay. So here I have used this login page, home page, and cart page, okay, which are there inside this pages folder. So let's make changes for any one of the page. So now let's make change for this particular locator, right, which is for the password. Okay. So for now I have put this wrong value here, okay, which is password 1, but the correct value of the ID is just password. Okay. So now let me correct it here. So see, now I'm removing the 1. Okay. So for the page, I've corrected the script, and once you save your script, so see, for this particular test script, our execution got started. And also for the second script, for this one also the execution happened. Why? Because into this second script also, I've just put the same code. So both of these scripts are using this particular page, which is login page. Okay. And we have made change inside this particular page. So that's why it has executed all the test scripts which are using these pages from the page object model, right? So let's say in future you are going to make any changes into any of your page and you are using that page into any of your test script file. So you can add watch mode for whole of your test suite. So automatically once you make change, it will execute all the test scripts file which are using that file. So this is one very good example where you can use the UI mode. So now let me tell you all the trace viewer functionality which we are getting with the UI mode. So for that, let me generate the trace for this UI mode practice1.spec.ts. Okay. So first here, let me put one failure, right? So that we would be able to see some failure. Okay. And then we can debug it from here. So here purposefully I'm adding this wrong locator here, right? This sauce lab backpack 222 I'm putting, right? So this is the wrong locator, and at this particular line, our test script should get failed. So as soon as I have saved that script, so see for this particular test, automatically the execution started because this watch mode was on for whole test suite. And see the execution got completed for the both of the test. So now let's see all the sections which are available inside the trace viewer. So see here we have got the action section, okay, and in the actions tab you can see what locator was used for every action. So this is the action section, okay, and here we are able to see all the steps which got performed to execute this particular test. So first here we are able to see this before hook section, okay, where we can see what are all the hooks which got executed. So we have used this before each hook, right, where we are logging in into the application. So all the steps related to this logging functionality are appearing here, right, where we are able to see the locators, okay, and what is the action which is getting performed onto that particular locator. And apart from this, we are also able to see the time that particular step is taking. So after the before hook, we are able to see all the test steps related to that test and the action which got performed onto that particular locator. So see at this particular point, our test script got failed where we have given the wrong locator purposefully. So this is our action section. And the next section is timeline. Each trace records a screencast and renders it as a film strip. Okay. So at the top, this timeline is appearing. Here we can mouse over at any particular point and we can see that what happened at that time. So we can go back and forward to any time and see what was happening there, right? So see here, I was logging in into the application. Then after logging in, this page appeared, right? Where we opened this particular item, added the item into the cart. So all the actions you would be able to see with the screenshot. And here at any particular point, if you click there, so you would be able to see the step which got performed there. Okay, so let's click here. So see, it highlighted this particular step. So here we clicked onto this locator. So this is the timeline section. Now coming on to the next section, which is snapshots. So Playwright captures a set of complete DOM snapshot for each action. So this is the snapshot section, okay, where we have the subtabs which are action, before and after. So if you mouse over onto any of the step, okay, so you would be able to see the screenshot related to that particular step. And if you click onto that step, okay, so here inside this action, you would be able to see that element is getting highlighted. So which means that onto this add to cart button, we are going to perform the click operation, right? So that's why it is getting highlighted. And here we have this before tab. So if you click here, you would be able to see what happened before performing this click operation, right? Or any operation. It may be fill operation, click operation, any operation, right? So before performing that particular action, how page was looking, okay? And once we performed this action, okay, so here we clicked onto this item. So we can click onto the after tab, and here you would be able to see that what happened after performing that particular action. So see, once we added item to the cart, this remove button is appearing here, right? And here for the failure also, if we click onto this tab, so see here, no item is getting highlighted because we have given the wrong locator itself, right? So that's why none of the item is getting highlighted here. So this is the snapshot section, and you can also pop out this section, okay? And here, if you want to use the developer tool for your debugging purpose, that also you can do, okay, from this pop-out window. Now let me close it. So this is the snapshot section, okay. Now coming on to the next section, which is the source. So as you hover over each action of your test, the line of the code for that action is highlighted into the source panel, okay. So now this is the source panel, okay, And once we mouse over onto any of the step, right? So see, the line related to that particular step is getting highlighted here inside the source panel. See, this is the failed line. Okay, it is getting highlighted. So at line number 23, we have put this double 2 as the wrong locator, right? So this line is getting highlighted. So accordingly, you can use this source section also. So now coming on to the next section, which is call. So the call tab shows you information about the action such as time it took, what locator was used, if it is the strict mode or not, right? So this is the call section, okay? And here for each step, if you will mouse over or if you will click also, you would be able to see the time at which that particular step got executed, the duration which it took, okay, the locator which we have used, and if we are using the strict mode or not, and what is the action which got performed. So that's what you would be able to see all of these details here inside this call section. Now coming on to the next section, which is log. So to see the full log of your test, to better understand what Playwright is doing behind the scene, okay, such as scrolling into the view, waiting for the element to be visible, enabled or stable, and performing actions such as click, fill, place. So all the things we would be able to see there into the log, that behind the scene what is happening. So this is the log section. So see here, for performing this click operation behind the scene, all these steps are getting performed. So it is waiting for this particular locator, and then it is resolving to this element, right, which is the HTML element. Now it is attempting to click, then it is waiting for the element to be visible, enabled and stable, right? And once the element is visible, enabled and stable, it is scrolling into the particular view if needed, okay? And once the scrolling is done, it is going to perform the click operation, right? So all these things are getting performed at the back end. You need not to worry about that, but Playwright is taking care of all these actions behind the scene, and you can look from here that what are all the behind the scenes actions for any of the action, right? It may be click, press, fill, that would be appearing here with the time duration also, that these behind the scene steps are also taking how much time, right? So this is the log section. Now coming on to the next section, which is error section. So if your test fails, you would be able to see the error message for each test in the error tab, right? So this particular test failed, right? So if we click onto this errors tab, so see the failure message is appearing here. So first we are able to see the complete path, right, with the test script and the line number. So at line number 23, right, this failure is happening where we have given the wrong locator, and here we were expecting this particular string, but we have received null because the locator itself is wrong. And here we are also getting the call log where it is saying that for this expect, the timeout happened after 5000 millisecond, which is 5 seconds, where it was waiting for this locator, right? But it is wrong, so that's why it got failed. Now coming on to the next section, which is console section. So here we can see the logs from the browser as well as from your test. So this is the console section where we are able to see all the logs. So these are all the browser's log, but if you add a specific log also inside your test script, you would be able to see with the different icons. So see here we have added the log, but we are not able to see this log because at this particular point only our test script got failed. But if you correct this one, you would be able to see this log also there into this console section. Now coming on to the next section, which is network section. So the network tab shows you all the network requests that were made during your test. So this is the network section, and here you would be able to see all the network requests for the specific test. So for this test, it is showing these are all the network requests which were made. And if you click here also, so see here it is showing the network request for this test. So these network requests usually we see here into this developer tool, right? Here, let me open this developer tool, right? And here inside this network, we are able to see all those network requests, right? Let me reload the page here. So see, all the network requests are appearing here. And here with this Playwright UI mode or the trace viewer, we can directly see all these network requests here only, right? Where we have these columns, and we can also sort on the basis of the name, method, status, content type, duration, size. So this is the network tab. And same is the case for console also. You can also use the developer tool of the browser to see the console. Okay, but we have got that functionality inside the trace viewer and with the UI mode also. So you need not to again open the browser and repeat that particular step to get the console log or the network request, right? Here only you would be able to see for each of the tests. Now coming on to the next section. So this is metadata section. It will show you more information on your test, such as browser, viewport, size, test, duration, and more, right? So this is the metadata section, okay? And here it is going to show the information related to the test, right? At what time the execution started, how much time it took, the engine which it has used. So here we have just executed it for the Chrome browser, so it is showing Chromium, the platform which it used, right? The viewport information we would be able to see. So all these details you would be able to see from this metadata section, okay? For this test also it will show the same details, right? So you can click onto the specific test and it will show the metadata related to that. Now coming on to the next section, which is attachments. So the attachments tab allows you to explore attachments. And if you are doing this visual regression testing, you would be able to compare the screenshot. About this visual regression testing, I am going to talk into my upcoming videos. For now, we can just see that how these attachments are appearing for our test script. So this is the attachments section, okay? And here we are able to see the screenshot as well as the video link. So you can click onto these links also to download the video or the screenshot, okay? And here you would be able to see the screenshot directly also. And why these are getting generated with our UI mode? Because into our playwright.config.ts file, we have configured a screenshot for only on failure, and same for the video, we have configured it retain on failure. So that's why it is getting generated with our UI mode also, and it will get generated with our trace viewer also with the HTML report. So this is the common setting which we need to do for trace, for the HTML report, or for the UI mode. So this is the attachment section. Apart from this, we have this option where we can dock to the right or at the bottom using this option, right? So see, we have dock to the right. If you will click here again, it will get docked to the bottom. Apart from this, we have also got the pick locator option. So into my automatically find locator video, I have told you that we can get this pick locator option into the VS Code or into the Playwright inspector or into the trace viewer and also into the UI mode. So here we have this pick locator option, right? So once you click here, and if you want to detect any element, that you can do. So now let me find the locator for our failed test step. So see, for us it is getting failed where we are trying to perform assertion onto this Sauce Lab backpack link. So once you click here onto the pick locator, it will appear with this color. And once you select this item, okay, and click here, so see the locator related to that particular item is appearing here. So you can copy it and then you can paste it into your test script where we are getting the error, okay? So now here we can replace the locator which we have just copied from that locator section, right? After using the pick locator. So see, now we have corrected our test script, and here as we are using watch mode for whole test suite, so it has started execution for the script where we have made the changes, and see our execution got completed here with this passed status. And you can also use this locator section to create the locator, right? Let me tell you that how you can create it here. So let's detect this Facebook, right? Here we know that it is link by mouse hovering on it, right? And we are also able to see the name as Facebook, right? So now let me just manually add this Facebook here, right? So see, now automatically this element is getting highlighted. Okay, if I will put Facebook 1 to 3, so see this is the wrong value, so that's why it is not highlighting any of the element. But if I remove this 1 to 3, so see here I'm able to create my locator, right, by editing it here, right? You can also give the XPath or the CSS selector inside this locator method so that you would be able to create the particular locator using this locator section. And here I've prepared one more test, see, where we have just given the console log, right, under the describe block. So that's why this test script is appearing here first, right? UI mode practice2.spec.ts, and then inside this the describe block is appearing, and then the test which we have used inside the describe block. So that's what will appear, right? So that's how we are going to see the hierarchy, right? And accordingly you can execute any of your test script. And one more thing that I told you, right, once you execute your test, you would be able to see the logs related to that particular test here inside this output section. So the same thing which appear inside this terminal once we execute our test script, we are able to see here inside this output section. Okay, so see here for now it is just showing that two tests passed, right? Where we are also able to see the console log. Why? Because we have given this console log here at this line, right? At line number 25. And the same console log you would be able to see here for that particular test, right? So if you click onto that test and go to the console log, so see this console log which we have given is appearing here. So this is the log which we have given with this icon will appear. Okay, and these are the browser logs which are appearing here. So yeah, that's it for this particular video. Let me give you the quick recap. So here we have looked for all the options which we are getting with the UI mode, where we have this color mode option, this reload option, right? This output log option where we can see all the console log. From here we can clear it also. Then we can filter it on the basis of text and tags. From here we can select passed, failed, and the skip test, right? Let's say if I just want to see the passed test, right? So here I can click and it will filter on basis of that. And from here we can select the specific browser also on which we want to do the execution. This left section is very similar to this testing tab which appear here into this VS Code also, right? Where we see the filter, all the tests, the play icon, right? Open the file icon, right? So all those options are there into the UI mode also. Here this play option is there for all the test or for the specific test or the test script file. We are also having this open in VS Code option if you want to open the specific file. Here we have one more option which is very helpful while debugging, which is this watch mode, which we can put for complete test or for the specific test script or for the test also, right? And here this right section is similar to the trace viewer, right? Where we are having different sections like actions, metadata, quick locator section, source section, right? Call section, log, errors, console, network, attachments, right? The timeline and the snapshot section with this before and after tabs and this pop out option, right? So yeah, you can try to create some script and try to execute it in UI mode and debug it accordingly. So you would be having more idea about this particular tool. And it is very powerful tool when you are trying to debug your test script, right? Because here we are able to do everything from start of the execution till the analysis, right? And the correction to the particular script. So yeah, that's it from my end. You can click onto the first card to go to the next video. You can click onto the second card to access the whole Playwright tutorial playlist, and stay tuned for my upcoming videos. If you have any comments, questions or doubts, you can let me know into the comment section below. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a great day.